You love your pet like family, but would you feed your family ingredients you can't pronounce? Cooked at temperatures hotter than volcanic lava and preservatives banned from human foods? Brace yourself, because the shiny bag you've trusted for years might hide shocking secrets that could be slowly harming your furry friend's health. The conventional pet food industry is built on an image of care, health, and quality. But peel back the label, look beyond the marketing, and you find a very different story. A story driven by cost-cutting, convenience, and ingredients you probably wouldn't dream of feeding your furry companion. Get ready, because we're about to expose what's really going into that bowl. So why do we trust them? It starts with brilliant marketing. We see images of juicy meats, vibrant vegetables, and happy, energetic pets. Brands spend millions crafting this wholesome image. They use comforting buzzwords like natural, premium, even gourmet, terms that sound impressive but often have loose or even no official definition. Then there's the complete and balanced statement, backed by regulatory standards. It feels like a solid guarantee of quality. But is meeting the bare minimum the same as providing optimal health? That label might offer assurance, but it also conveniently masks the complex reality of what's actually inside the bag. Let's look closer at the ingredients list, the one mandated to list things by weight. See those first few ingredients? Often it's corn, wheat, or soy. They're cheap, bulk up the food, and hold kibble together. But they're also difficult for pets to digest, reducing the nutritional value your pet actually receives. But are these ingredients biologically appropriate for dogs and cats, whose ancestors thrived on meat? The debate rages, but one thing is clear: they're there primarily for economics, not necessarily optimal nutrition. And what about the meat? You might see chicken meal, meat by-product meal, or just generic meat meal. Sounds okay, right? But meat meal is cooked down animal tissues, including animals labeled 4D, which are animals considered dead, dying, diseased, or disabled. These are animals you'd never knowingly feed your pets. Meat byproducts can include lungs, spleen, kidneys, even bone, parts often deemed unfit for human consumption in many places. These vague terms like meat meal and byproducts effectively hide the truth, leaving owners unable to truly know the quality or origin of the protein in their pet's bowl. The ingredients alone raise serious questions. But what happens after these ingredients enter the factory? Most dry pet food is churned through massive industrial extrusion machines, where ingredients are cooked under extreme heat and immense pressure. Imagine dough blasted at temperatures comparable to scorching asphalt on a summer day. Canned food? It's cooked in the can at high temperatures for sterility. These methods kill pathogens and create shelf-stable products, which is great for logistics, but what toll does this intense heat take on the food itself? Cooking at high heat destroys nutrients, making vitamins and proteins less digestible, so your pet absorbs fewer nutrients from each bite. Heat-sensitive vitamins like A, E, and B vitamins are degraded. Proteins can be damaged, making them less digestible. Essential fatty acids become prone to oxidation. Manufacturers compensate by adding synthetic vitamin packs after cooking. But can these synthetics truly replace what's lost from the whole food sources? Worse still, the heat creates new, potentially harmful compounds that weren't there to begin with. Advanced glycation end products, or AGEs, form when proteins and sugars react under heat. Studies link high AGE levels, found in much higher concentrations in processed pet foods than raw diets, to chronic inflammation, oxidative stress, kidney issues, and accelerated aging. Then there's acrylamide, a potential carcinogen which forms when starchy ingredients are cooked at high temperatures, found in many kibbles. So the quest for safety and shelf life through heat processing comes at a cost. Degraded nutrients and the creation of potentially harmful byproducts. This raises concerns about the link to chronic pet diseases. But heat isn't the only intervention. There's also the matter of what's deliberately added to the final product. To make that kibble last for months, even years on the shelf, fats need to be preserved. Enter synthetic preservatives like BHA, BHT, and ethoxyquin. BHA is listed by health authorities as reasonably anticipated to be a human carcinogen. Ethoxyquin, originally a pesticide and rubber stabilizer, is linked in some animal studies to liver and kidney issues. And why is some kibble brightly colored? Those artificial dyes, red 40, yellow 5, blue 2, are purely for us, the humans. Dogs and cats see colors differently. They get no benefit. Yet these dyes linked to allergies and hyperactivity in some human studies are added for marketing appeal. Add in artificial flavors to make lower quality ingredients more palatable, and you've got a chemical cocktail mixed into your pet's daily meals. Preservatives for shelf life, colors for human appeal, flavors to mask ingredients. It certainly paints a picture of priorities, but who ultimately controls these formulations and decides what goes into the bag? Understanding the corporate structure behind the brands is key. Did you know that a huge chunk of the pet food brands on the shelf are owned by just a handful of massive corporations? Mars, Nestle, JM, Smucker, General Mills, and Colgate-Palmolive. These giants dominate the market. This consolidation gives them immense power over everything from ingredient sourcing to retail space. But it gets deeper. Take Mars, for example. They own Pedigree, Royal Canin, IAMS, Eukanuba, and major veterinary hospital chains like VCA and Banfield. And the Waltham Centre for Pet Nutrition, a major research lab. Nestle owns Purina brands and the popular Pet Finder website. Colgate-Palmolive owns Hill's Science Diet and Prescription Diet, heavily promoted by vets. When the same company makes the food, funds the research, and owns the clinics recommending specific diets, how can pet owners be sure advice is always driven solely by independent science, free from commercial interest? This vertical integration allows unprecedented control over the flow of information. This corporate machine is clearly built for profit and efficiency, often relying on those cheaper ingredients. So how do they maintain an image of premium quality despite these realities? The answer lies in mastering the art of marketing and navigating labeling regulations. Ever notice how corn might appear multiple times on a label as corn, corn gluten meal, corn flour? That's ingredient splitting, making a less desirable ingredient appear lower on the list by breaking it up. And the with rule, dog food with chicken, might only require 3% chicken. Compare that to chicken dog food needing much more. Is this transparency or calculated confusion? Then comes the buzzword bingo. Natural sounds great, but under AAFCO rules, it allows for heavy processing and synthetic vitamins. Premium, super premium, holistic, meaningless marketing terms with no official definition. Human grade is finally getting a strict definition, but few conventional foods meet it. And veterinarian recommended? What does that really signify? Broad endorsement or internal promotion? Even prescription diets aren't drug approved through rigorous FDA processes. They operate under enforcement discretion. While helpful for managing conditions, they often use the same base ingredients and processing as regular kibble. The regulators, FDA and AAFCO, set minimum standards to prevent outright deficiency. But do those minimums equate to optimal health? With industry having input into bodies like AAFCO and a history of major safety recalls, how trustworthy is this system? Questionable ingredients, nutrient-degrading processing, controversial additives, and marketing smoke and mirrors. It paints a concerning picture of the conventional industry. So where does this leave the caring pet owner who just wants the best for their companion? The truth is, conventional pet food often prioritizes shelf stability, cost, and human appeal over what might be biologically best for our pets. The complete and balanced label guarantees a minimum, not an optimum, and the path to that minimum can involve ingredients and processes with potential long-term health consequences, masked by clever marketing. But awareness is the first step. Start by becoming a label detective. Demand specific ingredients. Question vague terms. Avoid artificial additives. Explore alternatives like gently cooked or appropriately formulated raw diets, understanding the risks and benefits of each, of course. Even within processed foods, look for higher quality options with transparent sourcing and less aggressive processing. Don't just trust the shiny bag. Consult with knowledgeable vets, especially board-certified veterinary nutritionists who can offer guidance beyond brand partnerships. Our pet relies on us entirely for their well-being. It's time we looked beyond the marketing and demanded better, seeking nourishment that truly supports their health and vitality for years to come. The power to change the industry starts with the choices we make in the aisle. Exposing the truth behind powerful industries is what we do here at Generation Y. If you believe in pulling back the curtain on the systems that shape our world, from what's in your pet's bowl to the algorithms controlling your feed, then join us. Hit subscribe and ring that notification bell, because the next hidden reality is waiting to be uncovered. Cheers.